Let me ask you about audiobooks. How many books roughly do you have that are in audiobook format?
Close to 20.
Okay. Well, the next obvious question is, did you read any of them yourself that are in your voice?
No.
Okay.
I'm not a professional narrator. I'm not a big fan of hearing my own voice. I know I do a lot of uhs. I tend to stutter a lot. I am in no way a professional narrator, and I'm a firm believer that narration, in certain cases, like maybe if you're doing like nonfiction or so, it probably makes sense. But I would say the vast majority of authors, it behooves you to hire a professional, because narration is a profession just like any other.
I discovered that when I tried narrating one of my own books. It was a fiction book, and then I came to a woman's voice. I am no actor. Oh, my word. Anyway, let's see. Concerning audiobooks, the margin's much better on audiobooks. How does that affect your bottom line? I mean, I don't know how well they're selling or anything, but
it affects my bottom line quite nicely. Because here's the thing: there's a lot of frustration in the audiobook community because, ACX/Audible, they're the 600-pound gorilla in the room, and they kind of act like it. They really don't give you any say into your pricing or any of that. So it's kind of like their way or the highway. And some competition is starting to eke in there, but I don't think it's really widespread yet. So on the one hand, it's frustrating. On the other hand, I've sold a whole lot of audiobooks, and probably my biggest sellers have been my audiobook collections, which are relatively long. I mean, we're talking 30 to 40 hours in length, and Audible prices them according to length. So those, when they sell, it's a nice little bit of profit for both me and my narrator, because I tend to give my narrators a choice. Like some narrators, they want to be paid up front, which is perfectly cool. Some narrators, however, don't mind a rev share, especially if they know the book is a known property that's going to sell well. So this particular series that has the box sets or the audio sets, I worked with my narrator. It's on a rev share deal, so we've sold a ton of those. He's done well with them. I've done well with them, and I think we're both pretty happy.
Okay. In that case, where the narrator gets a share of the ongoing profits, does he get a cut immediately up front, or does he get zero up front? Is it totally on spec?
Okay, so there's a hybrid model that some narrators do, where they're basically like, okay, pay me a little bit up front, and then I'll take a rev share. I don't do that. It's kind of either or. So if you're working with me and you want to be paid by hour, that's fine. You get paid by the hour, and then the audiobook is mine. If you do rev share, then we're both in it together, and you're doing rev share. So in this case, it's kind of like, okay, we're both taking on the risk, and then when the sales come in, we wind up split them. So if the book underperforms, well, we both kind of suffer. If the book overperforms, though, I've talked to some authors who they get a little annoyed at that. It's like they're like, "Wow, this book earned so much more than I paid for than I would have paid if I paid outright." And I'm like, I'm more along the lines of, well, it's kind of cool that we're sharing the success. You took a risk on me. Now you're getting the rewards, so it's all good.
I'm curious about the bookkeeping for that. Is it from Audible, or does it you have to split it out separately later with some kind of accounting?
Thank goodness Audible does this.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. If they didn't, it would be a nightmare. I've done some co-writing before, and Amazon, like Kindle, does not allow for that. So if you're going to do a co-writing with Kindle, you kind of have to do the manual bookkeeping, which I'll be perfectly honest is a pain. But thankfully, with regards to Audible, they just split the check. So okay.
And for anybody unfamiliar, Audible is owned by Amazon. They bought them outright several years ago. Yeah. Which, of course, does make them a bit of a monopoly. They are the giant in the room.
Yeah.